Okay. Excellent. Hi, how are we doing? How are we doing, Charlotte? Thank you for coming on. Let me just check who else is coming on. So if you're watching this on live on Facebook, if you go onto the event and then click join, you can actually join this Zoom room, and then we can talk with each other. So if that's something that you'd like to do, hi, then that would be really, really great. So how are we doing, Charlotte?
Hi there. Can you hear me? Did you hear? Hi.
No, I couldn't hear a thing. You were completely muted, but lovely to meet you.
Am I right?
We've never met before.
Huh?
You've never met before, so
no, not properly. No.
Yeah. Cool. I'm Andrea. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Andrea. I'm Charlotte. Nice to meet you. Or
Cool.
CW or whatever. Just let me get you. God, it's gotten really hot in here all of a sudden. Yeah. So I think I would have heard of you through. Is it Diana Rotten?
Yes.
Yeah. A long time ago, perhaps.
Yeah, that was God 4 years ago. We were just like getting all super sober together.
Yeah. Well, I'll be 4 years in October.
My God, amazing.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
how...
I think she was a month after. Yeah, I think I'm a month ahead of her, possibly. And then I met her through Diane Goldie.
Okay, yeah.
But not really. You know what I mean? Like we're more internet friends than we've only kind of, our paths have only kind of crossed.
Yes. So Diane Goldie makes all those amazing clothes, doesn't she? The outfit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you're 4 years in October.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's so
October
cool.
October 28th. And I forget, the angle's weird. I'm just going to do my neck in.
No worries.
Let's see what I can boost this up with. Ugh. I just didn't want to sit in the kitchen, and that's where all of my Zoom stuff normally is, because I've got a bigger meeting later tonight. Let's see if this makes it. There we go. Let's see, is that better? Yeah. That's better posture.
Good. Okay, cool. So tell me about your journey through being sober. Like, what was that like for you?
Gosh darn it. 1 second. Cole, I am gonna close the door now. But let me know before you leave. Fine. I had all the red flags, and it was one of those. I kept Googling, am I an alcoholic?
Yeah.
And I knew I was a functional alcoholic, and I knew what I was hiding from, and I didn't want to face it. And then there wasn't really, rock bottom's a really funny word.
Yeah.
And because it was hidden, nobody knew how bad it was. I knew all the tricks. And then I realized, and I'll just be very blunt, that if I didn't stop drinking, I was going to kill myself. Like it was very obvious to me. It was just like, okay. And I'd go 100, I think I'd go like a month without drinking, or 6 weeks here and there. And then the bargaining, and then the this and the that. And then I was just like, no, this just has to stop.
Got it.
And there was drugs too. It wasn't just drinking. So, yeah. But he might be listening. So he won't be. And then, the first 6 months was really challenging. Yeah. And But I think the thing is, what really spiraled it was when I went through like trauma therapy. And then it was like, I'd go to therapy and then I'd get wasted. And it's just like, you're just not doing it. Do you know what I mean? It was so anyway, the first 6 months were hard. And because I never talked to anybody about it. So like I had a psych at the time. Nobody ever was like, maybe you have a problem. Maybe it's drink that's causing, mood swings and bipolar and this and that. And it's just like, no, the problem is because I'm a fucking alcoholic.
That was a realization for me. Like, I thought I was depressed. I thought I had anxiety. I thought I had all these things. And then I was actually just an alcoholic.
Yeah.
That was it. And when I gave up the booze and really dealt with myself, that's when it started to like fall into place. So yeah.
And you've had a really remarkable journey.
It's been fun. Yeah.
It's been kind of really nice to just see as kind of a casual observer from, how you've developed and the strength that you've maintained and, like the honesty and authenticity with yourself. So, yay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's been a journey. And I've even come like to a point where I'm like, I don't even know if I would call myself. Some people, it empowers them to have that label and to have that. But for me, I was talking to Andy, my partner, about it, and I was like, I don't know if I see myself as that anymore. I just see myself as a woman that used to drink and now she doesn't.
Yeah, no, I agree. Some people, like, it's like, how do you know somebody's vegan? Don't worry, they're going to tell you, and it's just like some people really kind of need that as part of their identity, which I think is wonderful and fine if that's what gets you through it. And I think, for me, like in the first couple of years, that was like, no, I don't drink. No, whereas now I forget. It's just like I used to, and now I don't. And it's, that point that I thought that would never happen. And that for me was the best thing, where you just don't think about it. That it's not that constant, like chattering weasel in your brain,
Yeah. And I think for me, one of the things that I did along my journey was take all of my fear over other things. And rather than deal with that fear, I just channeled it into a fear of alcohol. So I still had all this fear, but it was really concentrated in one area. And I was like, I need to deal with that and not, allow myself to be afraid sometimes, but also learn how to really deal with fear and how to act despite the fear.
Yeah.
How to go out and do the things that I wanted to do despite being afraid. Because being afraid is just being afraid. Like, it's not like there's a lion, a tiger, and a bear coming for me. It's just fear. That's all it is. It's an emotion like anything else. So I think, there was throughout my recovery, there was a big focus on fear and all the forms of fear, and it was good to look at. But one of the things that I did was take all of those fears and channel it into one big fear. And then I was like, I've not really, all I've done is just take the plasticine and mold it into a different shape and pretend it's not plasticine anymore. Like, it's still there. So I wasn't really dealing with it. But now, like, I don't feel like I'm afraid of, I still get fear, but I'm not afraid of anything, like I can go to parties, I can sit with people, and I'm not, my partner has a drink at a wedding and I'm not like on edge anymore. Because at the end of the day, I have to make about 1,000 decisions before I would ever drink. Like, I have to decide that I'm going to go do it. I have to.
But that's, I think, the power of like decision is once you decide something, it takes so much of the kind of effort and thinking and things out of it. It's just like you said, like 1,000 decisions. But if you're not going to drink, there's no decision making.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like there's ways like to simplify things. It's just like at one point I wore like this, not the same outfit, but I had like a uniform because it's like I don't have time to think about clothes in the morning. So I am just going to wear a leather jacket, a mini skirt, and a tank top every day because I don't have the time to change 3 times. Or do you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. If you just go, no, that's what I'm deciding. And it doesn't, you stay with it for life, but you just stay with that system or whatever it is while it works for you. And I think it's really positive not to like overly identify. And this is just me. It's just like, I don't like, I'm really, really happy being sober, but like as much as like being an alcoholic, I didn't see it as part of my personality. That was just a coping mechanism. Do you know what I mean? Yes. And it's like the same thing. It's like, well, being sober, no, that's just like a choice because it's like, I want to live the best life possible. And I'm not someone that can just have 2 drinks ever. That's not my bag.
Yeah, I felt like, so one of the things that I learned along the way was around like the pleasure pain continuum. And you know, one of the reasons that we drink is we're either trying to get away from pain or we're trying to go towards pleasure.
Yeah.
So if I can deal with that pain, then that eliminates a reason to drink. And if if we take the pleasure scale from neutral to really pleasurable, and booze takes me to about there, then I need to make sure that my life is here. So that I'd need to make my life worse to drink. And then And you can apply that to anything. You can apply that to like, if you're a compulsive eater, or if you do drugs, it's about really maintaining your life and to a place where, it's too good to do the thing, and you've also dealt with the pain, and then both of those powerful reasons go, and then it's like you're left in a place of life's all right. I quite like life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think also it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to maintain any type of addiction. It takes a lot of time, I lived in the west coast of Canada for a while. They have a horrific like heroin and crack problem. And I would just remember like people would like, go on about crackheads, but I'm like, man, they got fucking hustle. It's just they're on it 20 hours a day looking and trying to score crack. And it might be like the wrong way to get to kind of like a metaphor. But I was like, shit. And that, I remember seeing that and I really thought about that. I was just like, man, if you just applied that to your life to go after you want with the same kind of like ferocious need and desire and will, the things that one could achieve but on the opposite scale of picking up crack rocks on the ground, I've got to say goodbye to my son because I think he's going to karate. Cole, are you off, love? I'm gonna give you a hug now. Okay, darling, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, all right, he's fine. Cool. Okay.
I was talking about some of this stuff earlier with someone yesterday actually around power. We're talking about power and how there's a lot of marketing going about telling women that they need to go and reclaim their power and get their power back, which implies that they somehow don't have power. And that is something that I just don't buy into. I believe that everyone has power. They're all powerful. It's just they've forgotten, or they haven't realized it yet, or it's got buried under some stuff, and that's fine.
I think there's a lot of burying. There's a lot of, I feel, whether it be financial, whether it's internalized misogyny, whether it's a whole, too loud, too wild, too this, too that you just, and you slowly kind of, the will bends, it's like the theory of 1,000 cuts. And people forget. They forget that they that actually, they can. And it's not like, and then how power is presented as the option. It's like, you don't power can be quiet and determined. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And for me, power is just the ability to produce results. Right?
Oh, that's nice.
If you can make shit happen in your life, you've got power. And sometimes the shit that you're making happen in your life isn't really serving you, but it's still power because you're still producing results.
Yeah.
And it's
which is why, bye, sweetheart. Okay, love you. Do you have your phone, keys, water? Okay. Bye, love. Okay.
So it's about what is it that you're going to use that power for? Not that you don't have any or that you're powerless in any way. Like you were saying, but crackheads, that's power. They've got the power to get themselves up and go out and go do what they need to do to get what they need to get. Now imagine you channel that into something else. You channel that into a business. You channel that into a charity. You channel that into anything but what they're doing.
But just on that scale, if like for me, because it was such a very like visual metaphor, because the school that I went to was literally around the corner from Crackhead Central, right? Mm-hmm. So, and it was in the days where you're of the correct age. Remember when everybody wore those like really high like raver shoes, and it would be like perfect because it's like you could avoid all the needles, and it would be like you would just see that, and I'm like, but that's what it is. It's that kind of drive, and it's like if you just put that and you just flip it so that it's not self-destructive, so that it's not like, and all the different things that it leads to, you just switch it up, right? It just has to pivot. So, yeah.
And it's like everybody in the world is making stuff happen in their life, and therefore everyone's powerful. Like, and like either everyone's powerful or no one's powerful. Like, there's no in between. And so if I feel like I've got power and I'm powerful, then everyone's got power, because you can't just be one person that's got power. And when we get that, we start to see that when we do have power and we realize that we do have power and we put things into that context, then what we're actually doing starts to really matter.
Yeah.
And regardless of what it is that you're doing, you could be someone that's out there running like a global charity, or you could be someone that cleans toilets. It doesn't matter. Like, what you do matters, because it's your power that's going into it, and it has a knock-on effect to everything else, like, and everyone else, because everything's connected.
No, that's completely true.
So it was fun to see the other day. Like, I had a call with my own coach, and one of the things that I really got was that every single person in the world has the same thoughts, the same fears, the same kind of considerations about things. And maybe the content is different, but the context is usually the same. We all want to look good, avoid looking bad. We want to, want people to like us.
No, yeah, we all want connection. We all want community. We all want acceptance. We all want love. We don't want to look stupid. We want to feel, all of those things. Yeah.
The thing that I really got from it was that if I know that I've got the same thoughts and feelings as other people, then there's really nothing to be afraid of with other people. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm you and you're me.
Oh, absolutely.
And I would have the same thoughts and fears as you've ever had, and you're probably the same ones that I've had. And that took a lot of fear out of like some communications that I had to go and have with someone. That I was like, oh, what will they be thinking? And she was like, well, what do you think they'll be thinking? Like, you could probably answer that yourself. What would you be thinking in that situation? And it took a lot of the fear out, so I was able to go and have some conversations. But yeah, it's quite we had a lot of deep chats this week, which has been really good. But yeah, so is there anything like that you want to talk about while you're on, or anything that?
Yeah, because was this supposed to be a group thing?
So it's open to people to come on, and if people choose not to come on, then I've got stuff organised that I can start teaching.
Okay, fine. No, that's cool. I think I mean so when we've spoken before, I've talked about having long COVID.
Yeah.
And now, like, I'm kind of like, my brain works, but my body's not so great. And I'm coming to kind of terms with that I'm now differently abled, like I still can't stand up for more than 3 minutes, yada, yada, but that stuff is aside. And I do a lot of reading and introspection and yada, yada. And what I realized a couple of weeks ago is I've put all this work, and so right now I might be starting school in September to continue my accreditation to become a psychotherapist, right?
Nice.
So what's keeping my brain together currently, my mental health, is making art. Okay. So I'm writing, I do a bit of both. I work within Web3, so doing kind of like NFT stuff, yada yada, and I do physical art. And I'm like, no, because I can't. There was this one book, I can't remember what it was, totally horribly titled. What was it called? Not The Art of War, The War of Art. That was it. But why it bothered me was for two reasons. One, it used the word resistance like probably 300 times. I'm just like, get a thesaurus. But two, all through the book, I was like, that's not me, because I'm doing that, I'm doing that. And then I actually kind of went and stopped and then looked at it, and I'm like, no. I'm doing 80% of it. I've got this all lined up, but I'm not doing the next 10%. Like, I'm this close, but it's this last bit stuck. That's, why the name of your room I found attractive. And I'm like, I don't know what's making me stuck, I mean, so, I'm launching 2 collections tomorrow. I've got an article that I'm writing about, long COVID and NFTs and financial feminism. But I can speak really confidently. I'm speaking on a panel later tonight. And so I can present confidence. Mm-hmm. Great at that. When people hear me speak, they think I'm really confident, I'm really knowledgeable. But I'm currently a bit of a mess. So I'm like, okay, how? And because of that, I feel, because I've read it and people say it, that's you will get back what you feel, what you manifest, what you this. And then so last week, this artist in LA wanted to collaborate with me. And then this group in Malaysia were like, yeah, we can help you, da da da. And both of them pulled out their offers in the last 3 days. And I was like, and it could just be because they're flaky and people are flaky.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, because I don't believe it's actually going to happen, am I stopping myself? Am I unconsciously self-sabotaging? Because even though I'm putting it all out there, because I actually don't think I'm going to succeed because I'm a big fucking loser. Do you know what I mean? It's that little I can't get over that you're a big fucking loser hump. Just to be really just cut and dry about it. And this could just be that I maybe need more therapy. I don't know.
Cool. So you're. So where is
I wish I'd phrased that better.
No, I got it. I really got it, and I really got your determination to just get this last 20% done, whatever it is that you need to do. So, but I also got your commitment to getting over whatever's sticking you, and you're doing the work and you're digging into it. So this I'm a big loser thing. What would it be like if you could just give that up?
Great. I think part of me worries about sounding like an arrogant yank. But this is what I've realized is I don't have it in between. I'm either like, I am brilliant and a genius, or I'm a big fucking loser. Like I need to get that up like that. No, I'm okay. I am a human being. Do you know what I mean? It's okay. Da da da. But because I'm a woman trying to work in this industry, I have to scream a lot louder, and I have to be on my game all the time. And I get that. What would my life be like if I didn't think I was I'd be a lot happier. And that's what I've realized. There's a very big lack of joy.
Okay.
At the moment.
What has that belief cost you?
I don't know. And it's a bit of a mixed question because I've been sick for like 2.5 years. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just like I'm working with, a body that doesn't currently work properly. What has that belief cost me? Probably self-happiness and like self-love. And that's it. I realized that I have a lot of self-limiting beliefs that I didn't think I had.
Okay. So this belief that you've got that you're a big loser, and what has it cost you up until now? Like if you scan back through your life, believing that you're a big loser, what has that stopped you from doing? Where's it held you back?
See, I've always gone for things anyway.
Okay, but you're not doing.
Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. It hasn't stopped me.
Okay, so when did it start then?
Oh, this is old. It's old. It's like childhood, teenage.
When did it begin getting in the way though? When did it begin stopping you?
In my 20s.
Okay. And what, if you want to share, what was that? What happened? When did it hit different?
Is this being recorded or streamed?
Streamed. So if you don't want to share, we can take this.
Yeah, no, I'm not, just in case.
Okay.
Just in case.
But something
let's
happened
just say
that you know what it was.
We have certain commonalities in our past.
Okay. So
but different.
Got it. So this thing happened, and then I'm a big loser hit different, right? And now it starts to stop you from doing things. Between your 20s and now, what has it stopped you from doing?
Enjoying the successes that I've had.
Got it.
Because it's what I found is, so I'll get to one, and this is a thing. It's like I've got to work on systems, not goals. It's like, so I'll like have an art show, and I can't just be like, oh wow, I've just had this huge art show. It's done really well. Spoken on a panel. Next, there's no like, hey, you did. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, there's no kind of like appreciation of that. And I think what it causes is that lack of recognition causes myself, because I refuse to see myself there, it causes an invisibility. And then that invisibility feeds into, well, you're a big loser, because I'm not acknowledging any of my successes.
So let's dig into that a wee bit further. I'm a big loser, and the world is what? So if you've got this belief, I'm a big loser.
Oh my gosh, you know what? I don't know why. Is it just because I'm getting old? I couldn't hear what you said, so I leaned closer to see you.
So okay. I'm a big loser, and the world is what?
Oh, it's fucking hard, man. It's not in my favor.
It's not in my favor. Got it, right? Yeah. So while you're believing that, it makes perfect sense that you're going to be doing the things that you're doing, or not doing the things that you're not doing, right? And thinking and feeling that way. It makes perfect sense. And so what happens if you keep that belief?
I'll stop.
Okay.
Because
And
I've made it too hard.
and
I've
after
made
that,
it too hard to continue
mhm,
because it feels like a constant struggle, and it doesn't need to be.
yeah. And what will that cost you?
Everything I believe in, everything I've worked towards. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything I've been building up for like the last, 15 years.
Got it. So what would you like to be acknowledged for that you've not been acknowledged for?
Guess my art.
Your art. Okay.
Yeah.
What about your art though?
That it's good enough.
Okay. So I want to acknowledge you right now for your art and how incredible it is. Not just good enough, incredible. And I want to acknowledge you for making a difference in the world and contributing to it through art. That's huge. Art's meant to move and inspire. So I acknowledge you also for moving and inspiring people, for touching them. That's huge. And tell me, what would you love to be doing, and take everything that's happened in the past and just put it away. Imagine it's gone, right? So on one side of the line and it disappears. From nothing, right? From nothing, a blank slate. You'll be good at imagining this, right? Because you're an artist. Then what would you love to create and contribute into the world if you were creating from nothing? All of the past, ignore it. You're not trying to fix or change anything. Just to create from nothing. What would you love to create in the world?
Am I still me?
Yeah, but you from a blank slate, not you from any of that past-based thinking. You from a blank slate.
Okay, so me that doesn't have massive confidence issues. Probably a grand scale of no, I think I'd stick to just, making art and building community and writing more. And, I'm a big believer in the impact of storytelling to empower shared experiences of women, of stories that don't get told. And I'd like to be in a position where I'm more, it's not confident, authentic in my vulnerability to display who I really am without fearing the consequences of that openness.
And what are you building with that? With all of that?
Community, I think. A brand, community, and I want to make some fucking money, man. Not gonna lie.
And what's now possible in the world as a result of you doing all of that, building that community and everything else that you've mentioned?
I want to enable that. I think it's that visibility of people that feel that they don't belong, that they have somewhere that they do.
Okay. So creating belonging.
Yeah.
And
but also, and in order to create that belonging, I have to feel like I belong. You know what I mean? It's not like I can't have one without the other.
Yeah, just
gosh darn it.
Stay in there, right? So What are you building with that sense of belonging that the world now feels?
Strength, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Strength. Okay. What are you building with that strength?
Just art. I'm not sure. I think I've derailed myself.
So imagine everyone's feeling like they belong and that they're strong.
Oh, well, man, then you can just branch out, right? And then you can enable more community initiatives that, let's say, okay, so let's go, we build this thing, we have an amazing community of artists and an amazing community of techs, and we all work together, and then, you know, can have projects which are altruistic within their nature that can, you know, unify different people, different thinkers to create something that's not only valuable, but has, and I don't mean like white savior charity elements, but that actually do something significant within the community that I feel that supports, I think, either, you know, vulnerable people in the community, or just gives women just, and I focus on women because that's my shit. I think art is an amazing therapeutic tool, right? And
amazing.
It's just like, yeah.
So you've built this massive community, right? And there's all these communities that are all popping up now, right? Communities of artists, communities of people, women, people that feel that they really belong when they didn't before. Like, what are you building with all of those communities? What does that make possible? Anything. Okay.
Right? You know, and I think the biggest issue, and I think that, you know, it's something that I suffer from, and I think, you know, whether or not other people suffer from, I don't know, but like, it's this isolation, you know, this feeling that we're like alone, because, you know, I mean, from my, and it's just like over the last 2 years. Yeah.
What would be possible though? Let's look at what's possible. So that connection or belonging.
Yeah, no. I think it's connection, it's charitable giving, it's building, and I think like the concept of building, where we're about to like hit a global recession, and that many women are unable to. Many are either, I don't want to use the word trapped, but I feel that because of how certain things are moving globally at the moment, and we all know that during periods of recession, the people that suffer most are women, and do you know what I mean? So it's, you know, like during the pandemic, like who lost most of their jobs? Women. Do you know what I mean? Gone. And now we've hit a recession. Gone. So it's like, oh, I was going to be an artist, but now I have to work 2 bullshit part-time 0-hour contract jobs. So if you can empower people to sit in their power that we all have, then if everyone can make a difference within even their small communities, then we're all stronger.
Love that. I've got goosebumps right now, like just listening to this. And how will people be communicating as a result of all of that?
I need a developer. How are we going to be communicating?
Like, how will people's communication be when they're feeling that belonging, that empowerment, that strength?
It can be vulnerable and it can be honest. And daring. And that's what I think we need. We need a little more. I think we need a little more daring right now, because I feel in a time where we're really this close for a lot of people being really silenced. And I can't figure out a way in my own little head how to ensure that we're not.
So daring, honest and vulnerable communication.
Yeah.
Love it. And now you've created that possibility in the world, right, of daring, honest and vulnerable. Then what is it that you want to declare yourself as that's going to support that? And it's not, I'm a big loser, right?
Yeah, obviously.
What is it? What do you want to declare yourself as? So what are you the possibility of? Are you the possibility of these things, or are you something that's going to support that?
Can I be both?
Absolutely. You can be anything you want to be.
I got to be both. I've got to be the storyteller and the enabler. If you're going to walk the walk, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, right?
So instead of I'm going to be, I am.
I am.
Step right in it.
Yeah.
And as the possibility of storytelling and enabling, then what do you need to do next?
Start edit my story and get it out there.
Get that last 20% done.
Get that last 20% done, because it's all just sitting there.
Because daring and vulnerable and strong, that depends on it. Because see all of that out there, that starts with what's happening right here.
Right.
And now everything you do matters. That 20% fucking matters.
No, I know.
Every
but
conversation
it's that
matters. And listen, you can do it because it's part of a much, much bigger thing. It's nothing to do with you, it's to do with the world. And that's the power that you've got. And also,
that's a very wonderful, I think that's such a wonderful way to put it. I mean, like in the last week, I've gotten so many like just messages from people, because I've been speaking out a lot on some different things, and they're like, oh my gosh, you should get up there and speak, and that was really great, and you sound really confident, which I haven't had before because I've got really bad tinnitus. I can't normally talk in places. And I was just like, oh, okay, so the universe is telling me that me being kind of authentic and vulnerable is a good thing.
Yeah.
But then when I make it just about me, that's when who the fuck are you big loser? Or if I have negative interactions, I go, yeah, they're right. What am I doing? You know what I mean? But I think within the context of you make it about something much bigger than self, then it becomes so much easier to orchestrate because it's not about you.
Yeah. And who are your teammates in this?
Man, dude. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you dude. I've been talking to too many men. Oh my god! If I hear the word bro one more time, I'm
I've been called worse.
But
yeah, who's your teammates? Because you can't do this without a team.
I don't know. I've been trying to get a team together since January, and I had people involved, but then they want to do it, but we have different senses of work ethic, and
so I'm going to give you something, and what's maybe happened there, I wasn't in the conversation, but what's maybe happened is you haven't had that possibility present for yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when that's present for you to the point where you're moved by it, and then you take that to another person and you make it present for them such that they're moved by it, then you've got two people that are so fucking enrolled in this that they can't help but want to make it happen.
We'll just be excited about it.
Yeah.
You know?
And then what you have is you have a possibility up here, and then everything else exists inside of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Your role exists inside of that, their role exists inside of that, every single action exists inside of that. And it's all about that possibility of what were the words that you said again? Vulnerability, strength, and daring.
Daring, yeah.
Everything, you know, and are you bringing vulnerability, strength, and daring into what you're doing?
can't help it right now.
You
Yeah.
have to live it, right? And find people that are willing to live that with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if not, just keep carrying forth until I do.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
amazing.
Cool. Wow. That was bigger than I thought it would be.
I'm excited to see what you do with this. I really am.
Okay. That's just, I love the reshaping of context. That's like, that's really, really good. I mean, and I think it's like, I had another team member, we kind of spoke and or what I found is like, they're really excited, but I'm the one that has to do all the work. And I'm like,
where are you not making requests?
Yeah. Or I make yeah, okay. It's fine. I just gotta keep. Your
straight bold request is I request this by this time.
Oh, I've tried that.
And then if they'll either accept, they'll decline, or they'll counter offer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if they accept, that's a promise. And as soon as they promise, then you need to manage that promise.
Yeah.
And that's the hard bit. That's the bit where we go, oh, I don't want to say to them because they said they would do it and now it's awkward. But if we give up, it's awkward, and we get reconnected to that purpose, that possibility of, well, I want to create daring, and am I bringing daring into this conversation? Or vulnerability or strength. And everything lines up with that. Yeah. Even managing promises with people.
Yeah. Cool. Wow. Thanks.
You're welcome. So what are you taking away from this session?
What am I taking away? I think mostly that my go-to of beating myself up when I'm really close can no longer exist, because this is so much bigger than me and I just have to get on with it and do it.
Yeah. Amazing. Because that, all right, might hurt you a little bit, but really it hurts the world.
Well, it's just not good, man. It's just like, it's so outdated and it's so boring, and it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
You don't seem like a boring woman, so you're gonna have to give that up.
No. It's the evil weasel in my brain.
Amazing. Listen, this has been excellent. I really acknowledge you for digging into this and for creating that beautiful possibility, and for continuing to contribute to the world with art. You're a huge contribution.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it's the writing, and it's the getting out there and the not being afraid and being daring, vulnerable, and strong. So thank you so very much for that.
You're so welcome. Go be daring.
That was fucking incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, I was not expecting that. I'll write you a 5 stars on Yelp.
Love it. Amazing. We are doing a vision board workshop if you're up for it.
Yeah, I've heard of those. I don't really understand them, and everyone says you should do them. So yeah, I might drop in on that.
Ours are very intentional. There's 3 parts to it. It's 6 hours long, and there's a whole bunch of clearing of all the stuff that's been getting in your way, and we do all that work before we even put a sticker on the board. So
that's interesting.
I would love to have you there.
When is it?
So we've got 2. We've got one that's in Glasgow. I don't know where you're based right now, but if you can make the in-person one, it's on the 17th of July. And if you can't do the 17th of July, there's one on the 10th of July, and that's online. the difference is for the online one, you would need to go and get stuff yourself. But if you come to the one on the 17th, then you're welcome to bring things, but we'll be supplying boards and magazines and things like that for you.
I'm in East London.
So online sounds like it could be good for you on the 10th.
But I was also thinking a night away from everybody in an Airbnb. It might be fun. Okay.
Oh, that would be daring.
I was just thinking a little bit bigger outside of the box.
That would be daring.
Online vision.
Well, I dare you. I dare you to do it.
I might do, mate. I might do. See how my sales go next week.
Sweet.
You know. Awesome.
Well, go be daring and vulnerable and bold in communication with people and get those sales.
I will. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. Thank you.
Have an amazing night. Bye.
I will. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. So for everyone that's watching, if you're still here, we do have a vision board workshop. It's on the 10th of July, and that will be online on Zoom from 12:30 till 6:30, and that is UK time. There is an event that's created there, so you can go on and you can click the link power-full.com/vision. And if you want to come to the in-person one, there's very limited spaces, and that is again 12:30 until 6:30, and that will be in Glasgow City Centre. We are just sorting out the venue right now, but we're going to make it somewhere spectacular with fancy cocktails where you can take loads of Instagram pictures. So I would love to see you there and have a